order to tame your temper, the first thing that we want to look at is we want to check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That is kind of the modern translation of what the Apostle Paul is saying in Ephesians chapter 4 when he's talking about what happens when we allow the dangers of anger to run wild in our life. The Apostle Paul warns us in Ephesians 4:26-27, he said, "And don't sin by letting anger control you. Don't let the sun go down while you're still angry, for anger gives a foothold to the devil." So the Bible is saying, okay, listen, anger in and of itself is not a sin. But what happens is if we allow anger to take up residence in our lives, like we allow it to kind of like, all right, hey, we're going to set up a tent. We're just going to camp out here in Jason's life. If we allow anger to stay, what happens is it becomes a foothold for the enemy to work in our lives. And so the Bible is saying, hey, here are some healthy parameters to ensure that that doesn't happen. And one, the Bible puts a timestamp on our anger. Don't let the sun go down. Don't let a day pass where you continue to be angry. My wife Rachel and I, we talk to a lot of couples, and one of the things that we encourage them with is like, hey, listen, put a timestamp on your on your arguments and your fights. Don't walk out angry and upset at one another, but instead it's like if you need to take a break, it's like, hey, give me 10 minutes, I'll be back and we'll talk through this. We need to put timestamps and parameters to ensure that that anger doesn't continue to boil over. Feel the anger, feel the emotions, but don't let them stay. So what anger wants to do is anger wants to control you, but you need to control it. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to get angry? Like, it is super easy to get angry. You can get angry at the people that you love the most. You can get angry at the people that you love the least. You can get angry at the people that you've known for the longest time. And you can get angry at the random person who cut you off on 32 on the way to church today. It doesn't even have to be a person. You can get angry at your pet. You can get angry at your car. Like, there are so many opportunities for us just to get set off by our anger. Don't believe me? Have you ever walked around the corner of your bed late at night and you took the corner a little too tight and all of a sudden your pinky toe cracks the corner of that bed frame? Man, you look at that bed frame like it is the spawn of Satan himself. It's easy to get angry. Have you ever had somebody cut you off in traffic? And what do? You tailgate them for the next 5 miles and you let them know exactly what you think of their driving. Maybe your spouse or your child, they say something to you that hits a little bit too close to home, and now it feels like World War III is about to ensue. Like, am I talking to humans here today? We all experience it. It is so easy to be triggered in our anger. We lose control at the blink of an eye or the stub of a toe. But what happens is anger desires to control us. And what happens when anger controls our tongue is we say things that we should never say. You see, for me, this is an area that I struggle with, and it makes sense to me because God has kind of blessed me with the gift, I guess, to stand on this stage and to share his truth with each and every one of you. And so it makes sense that the enemy tries to attack in that way as well, where it's like, hey, not only are you going to speak words of life on Sunday, but I'm going to do everything I can to have you speak words of death throughout the week as well. And so I have to constantly be mindful of my tongue and the words that I say. When anger gets control of people's hands, some people start swinging. I know some people who their temper, it leads to holes in drywall. Thankfully, that is not my issue because I could never fix the drywall. When anger gets control of your arm, people start throwing things and they just get angry, and whatever's close, they just start throwing it. There's a whole industry now based off of this called rage rooms where you can just throw stuff and break it. Not gonna lie, that does kind of sound fun though. But not in anger. As I mentioned, when anger gets control of your feet, you walk out. And I'm not just talking about just putting a pause and just kind of like getting some time to breathe, but I'm talking about when you when you emotionally manipulate the situation and you walk out to induce fear in that other person of that they might have to live life without you. When anger controls our feet, we walk out. When anger controls your thumbs, watch out, internet. Because what we do is we go online and we post things and we rage post. But can I encourage you that when anger is in control, it never produces God-honoring results. It was anger that led Cain out into that field where he murdered his brother. Don't let anger lead. We have to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves.